Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's deep dive is, well, kind of different. We're going with something like a morning devotion vibe, using that reflection on Psalm chapter 46, verse 10 you sent.
Yeah, the be still and know one.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
About finding some peace, connecting with, well, something bigger, I guess you could say. Okay, so ready to unpack this.
definitely. And it is interesting how this devotional, it's dated January 24th, really ties stillness to the divine, but that idea of being still, it's actually way more widespread.
Yeah, I mean, the psalm itself is pretty powerful, right? Be still and know that I am God. But the devotional, it kind of highlights how we miss that in our daily
Yeah.
craziness. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it is fascinating how that concept of stillness, of quieting the mind, isn't just a religious thing, right? Like we see it pop up in all kinds of secular things like mindfulness, meditation, stuff like
Life,
this.
for sure. Those are having like a real moment right now, all about managing stress and all that.
Exactly.
So it's not only about connecting with like a higher power. Maybe it's also about connecting with, well, yourself.
Yeah, there's definitely some overlap there. I mean, the devotional, it suggests like actually scheduling it in 5 to 10 minutes, just quiet time
Mhm.
to meditate on God's presence. But even if you approach it from, let's say, a totally secular viewpoint, that dedicated quiet time, even if it's short, it can have real
Oh,
benefits.
yeah, that makes sense.
Studies actually show that even just a few minutes of like focused breathing, it can lower your stress hormones, bring a sense of calm, all that.
Huh. So even if someone isn't like particularly religious, they can still get something out of this whole stillness thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's about creating that space in your head, right? Where you can just be
Mm.
no judgment, no constant to-do lists running in the background.
Yeah, yeah, just quiet.
It's a skill, really. Like anything else, it takes practice.
Yeah,
But the payoff, I think it's pretty significant.
definitely. And the devotional, it ends with a short prayer. Pretty
Right.
simple. Lord, in the stillness, help me recognize your power and trust in your control. Amen. I kind of like how straightforward it is.
Yeah. And I think that ties into, well, maybe like a basic human desire, that
Yeah.
need for peace, a sense of control, especially when life feels all over the place. Prayer, I mean, however you want to define that word, it can be a way to tap into that, right? Looking for comfort, guidance from something, well, something beyond us.
So what does all this mean for, well, for you listening right now? If I it's like a little nudge, right? To find your own way to be still. Whatever that looks like, whatever it feels like to you. Maybe it is traditional prayer. Maybe it's some mindful breathing exercise, or maybe it's just being out in nature and letting your thoughts settle. Whatever works.
Yeah.
And here's something to think about. As you go through your day, what does being still actually look like, feel like in your life? How can you, I don't know, maybe weave in a little bit more of that stillness even with everything else going on?